Hello vinyl community, welcome back. Today I want to show some of the records that I've been picking up during the summer. But before I do that, I want to give out a big thanks to everybody who has subscribed to my channel, because I have now reached over 2,000 subscribers on this little channel. It's pretty amazing. I never thought I would get 2,000 subscribers when I started this. So big thanks to all of you who has tuned in and watched. And also big thanks to everyone who has commented. I really appreciate when you put down your thoughts about my records that I show and about my videos or about whatever. Really like that. So thank you everyone. And on this channel I won't show any reissues. I always show the original pressings from way back when. I'm not really interested in buying reissues or the new box set or the high speed remastered blah 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 version, or stuff like that. It's really not my bag, and there are tons of other VC channels showing that. So on this channel it's just about the original pressings. I mean, that's what I like about record collecting. I don't want it to be too easy to find a record. That's part of the game, the hunt, searching for a record. And when you finally find it, the feeling is so much greater than when you just buy a new record that are available anywhere. You just buy it and get it home. And yeah, I don't really see the thrill in that. But people do what they want, and that's totally fine. Anyway, now I'm gonna give you a little break here. I'm gonna insert a little music sample for like 10 seconds or so you have the time to breathe a little bit, and press the like button and press the subscribe button if you haven't, and then we will continue with my summer vinyl finds. Yeah, I'm gonna start off with a 7-inch single from 1968, and this is Brigitte, Bardot et Serge Gainsbourg. This is the absolutely amazing single Bonnie and Clyde that came out in 1968, and this is just an absolutely classic French pop with some light psych around the edges maybe, and it's fantastic, orchestrated by Michael Colombier. I have known about this song for a long time, and I have always loved it, but I never had a copy of it. So now I finally got my act together and picked up a copy in a French press in this laminated cover. It was released on Fontana label, French press. A really great single. I just love it, and I'm very glad that I have found a copy.
Moi, lorsque j'ai connu Clyde autrefois, c'était un gars loyal, honnête et droit.
Il faut croire que c'est la société qui m'a définitivement abîmé.
Bonnie and Clyde, Bonnie and Clyde.
Qu'est-ce qu'on n'a pas écrit sur elle et moi?
The next single I'm gonna show is a long time want for me that I finally found a copy of. And it's the debut single from Galaxie 500. This is Tugboat on side A, and on the B side we have King of Spain. And the labels on Aurora look like this. What a classic debut single this is. Two of their greatest songs on their first release ever. This one came out on Aurora Records and in 1988, and it was engineered and produced by Kramer, the legendary producer that produced all Galaxie 500. And it was Kramer that added all the reverb to their mixes and to get the sound that they are so famous for. Their kind of dream pop. This is the second issue of this single. It came out, the first pressing were 1,000 copies, and it came out with blue graphics here on Tugboat and with red graphics on King of Spain. But it sold out quite quickly, so they pressed another batch, and on that one they had the Tugboat in red and King of Spain in blue. So this is the second pressing of it from 1988, and this is just killer. If I have to pick like 2 songs from the Galaxie 500 catalog that are my favorites, I would probably say Tugboat and King of Spain. Amazing to put those 2 songs on their first single. And the Tugboat is on their debut LP, but King of Spain is a non-album track, so this is the way to get this single. And it's quite rare to find, and I found it in my local record store, An Ideal for a Living. What a great store. And so I snagged it immediately.
Lose again, you know I am the King of Spain. Yeah, and I know that you could never bring me down again. Yeah, I am the King of Spain. Yeah, and I know that you can never tear me. Oh, I'm the King of Spain. I'm smiling to myself. I'm laughing out loud. I'll never cry again. Now I'm the King of Spain.
Next one is an LP that I picked up from Norway, of all places. And it's the last LP from Broadcast, called Tender Buttons. And this was released on Warp Records in 2005. And this is an original 2005 pressing. Came with an inner sleeve. Label looks like this. So this is Broadcast's last LP before they quit. And I mean, they quit because the singer here, Trish Keenan, she died for some reason. I think it was like the bird flu or the mad cow disease or some weird shit. So this was the last LP that they did. And on this LP they were just reduced to 2 people. It was Trish and a guy called James. And they did this really great kind of dark, haunting electronic music. But it's like not just electronic music. It has some vibes from like old 60s movie soundtracks and filled with minimalistic electronic psych or whatever you want to call it. I think it's kind of psyche. A lot of like distorted synth sounds or electronic sounds, and I'm gonna play a little sample of the opening track, I Found the F. Great song.
Found the fair light blossom to be sown, and beneath the soil the real heart. You came to me carelessly. Why am I resentfulness? A bridge adjusting to the water, 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 water.
I also picked up a copy of Byrds, the Notorious Byrds brothers, from early 1968. And this is a US stereo copy. 2i Columbia label, 360 sound stereo. And this is a great copy I found and I couldn't resist it. I think this is one of, it's a top class Byrds records, of course. Recorded in late 67. And this is where they started to explore more country sounds, country and western sounds, and they also included the Moog synthesizer on some tracks. But it still has classic Byrds like folk rock style, and some songs go into like psychedelia. And this is a killer record. And by this time I think Crosby has left the band and were replaced by Horse there on the cover. Yeah, at least that's one way to think of it. Yeah, you probably know about this record, but an absolutely classic 5-star record in my book. I picked up Animated Egg, a German press of this Psych Records from 1969. This is kind of a budget Psych record, a studio project made up with session musicians that wanted to like profit on the Psych trend or something. So it's an instrumental record and it's called Psychedelic Sound, but it has some really trippy songs, some really far out songs, and of course it has the song Sock It My Way. That is a classic Psych song, absolutely fantastic. And this is the German pressing that came out on the Europa label. These labels. And this is actually much cheaper than to find the US original of this one. Really cool one, and let's listen a little bit to Sock It My Way. Get ready to be mind blown. Next up is an LP that I've seen in the vinyl community a few times. I think Dom has shown it, and I think that Crazy Jimmy has shown it. And it's Space Opera from 1972, self-titled album. A really great kind of folk rock LP with some progressive rock and some psychedelic rock incorporated here. Released in a gatefold cover. There's the band, and it came out on Epic label in the US press. And this LP has some really great songs, and it also has some really interesting guitar productions. They like multi-layered guitars, sometimes up to 9 guitars at the same time. So it has this like massive guitar sounds in some parts. It's a really interesting sound, and I have to listen more to this record, but I have listened a couple of times, and there are some really interesting music here and some great songs. Just listen to Country Max, the opening track, a little bit here.
I have known what it means to be lonely, and at times there was no life at all. Now I'm here and I think of you only. If my friends say I'm stoned, it's because I'm in love, that's no lie. You don't need to ask me why.
From Discogs from one of the sellers, I added this to the order. This is the band 3 O'Clock. They were before this they were called the Salvation Army, and I showed that record in my 80s Psych video that I did. But this band couldn't call themselves Salvation Army, so they changed name to 3 O'Clock. And this is like a Paisley Underground classic, I would say. Not as Psych as Salvation Army, but still great jangly pop music. And it has some really killer tracks like the Jet Fighter and So We Run. I love that song. And this one is like cheap heat. I picked this up for 10 euros or so. Released on the Lolita labels. This is a European pressing from 1983.
Every day, a summer's day, and at night we fly away. 'Cause there's nothing on earth that seems so real today. And so we run, and we've begun to think as we want to, and we've begun to do as we want to, and we've begun.
Now I want to talk about the special package that I got from Dom, Seeking a Thread, my man in the US, as I call him, because Dom has been a little bit like a hub for me in the US. So he has collected some records on a pile that I bought from the US that he sends to me, and it works pretty neatly. And I don't have to pay any taxes for these packages, so I guess he puts a low value and a gift or something on the package, so just go through the customs to me here. So it's a great way for me to find records from America. I can buy on Discogs and they send them to Dom. And some of the records that I bought were still sealed, and Dom was friendly enough to like unseal them to me and put the disc outside for safe traveling or across the Atlantic, for no seam splits and stuff like that. So big thanks to Dom for doing all this extra work for me. Thank you, man. And the first record from this legendary package from Dom was a single from a seller on Instagram in the US that has an amazing collection of Flying Nun records and New Zealand indie, and I mean, he has records you've never seen, and he often have multiple copies of the records. And often they are sold out quite instantly, so they directly are sold. And he posts them around 2 a.m. here in Sweden, so I often miss all these great records. But when he came to Chills, a Pink Frost single that I've been looking for a very long time, it's probably my favorite single, or at least one of my favorite singles from the Flying Nun label. This seller had like 9 copies of Pink Frost or so I had the time to buy a really nice copy, and he sent it to Dom. So I finally found this original New Zealand pressing from 1983 with these labels. These early Chills are just fantastic. And it's like maybe a little bit more pop, but this Pink Frost is absolutely beautiful. And it was, by this time, I think it's him, but the drummer in the Chills, he died from leukemia, I think. Very, very tragic, only 20-something years old. So this was the last recording that he did with the Chills, and he played the drums on this one. And the song wasn't really finished when he died. So Martin and the other guys finalized the recording of it, and they released it, and all the money from this single, they gave it away to cancer research. Fun fact, the drummer's mother gave Martin Phillips his leather jacket as a gift from him. And that became a famous Chills songs later on. I love my leather jacket. And when you know the backstory, the song gets even better.
Thought I was dreaming, so I didn't hear screaming. I'm so scared. I'm so scared. She won't move and I'm holding her head. She won't move and I'm holding her head.
And in that package I got 3 records from a Discogs seller that has been selling Michael Yonkers and related LPs. And he had them still sealed for a decent price. So I picked up this. This is his debut, Grimwood. Came out on Michael Yonkers' private label. And I think this is from 1974. So a beautiful copy. And I have just listened to this once, and it sounds really interesting. And as Dom would say, I have to absorb this music a little bit more. But I'm really glad to have found this Michael Yonker LP. Since he had many Michael Yonkers LP, I also picked up this copy that he did together with Jim Woehrle, Borders of My Mind. Also came out in 1974. Still in the shrink, with this little sticker down here where he says that you have to change your needle on your record player because it could damage the record. So he was kind of picky with the sound. But it's quite lo-fi recorded, and it's some kind of singer-songwriter folk music, but with some psychedelic elements to it. And the same seller had a steel sealed copy of Goldberg, Misty Flats, also from 1974, and also with the same sticker there. And I've been listening a little bit more to this one, and this is a fantastic singer-songwriter LP. Very sparse with just his guitar and singing, but lovely songs, and I really dig this kind of dreamy singer-songwriter folk music. Michael Yonkers, I think he was co-producing it and releasing it on his label. So it's not Michael Yonker, but it's related to him for sure. And I think both Dom and Crazy Jimmy has been talking about these records. So I'm glad that I have picked up them as well.
Lady on the train, heading for the sea. She waves as she goes by. She's glad that she is not me. Yeah, glad that she is not me. Came home with nothing, and everyone knows you leave them all someday.
And of course, in this package, Dom sent me Material Objects in Revision. Album of the year 2025 for sure, at least in the vinyl community. This is Dom's band, and he has just released this year. And it has this really beautiful insert with a lot of photos and stuff from when they recorded the album. But Material Objects is Dom, of course, on guitars and vocals, together with two other guys. So it's like this indie rock trio. And I hear influences from 90s indie rock here, the stuff that I grew up and loved, like Sonic Youth and Pavement, and also some Bardot and you know, bands like that. So they have the right sound, and it was recorded in Electrical Audio, Steve Albini's classic studio. So sound wise, it has everything you want from like an indie rock record like this. And my favorite track so far is Dreaming Outside on the A side. I think that is just a killer song, and I have played it on repeat for some time. It's something with the melody or something with the chords there that's just struck a chord with me, and I really dig that. And there are other great songs, of course, Working on My Act, and I also really like Easy Out on the B side. And some of these tracks also have cello that adds another dimension to it. Really cool stuff. So this was a really pleasant surprise to get into some new music. I always dig for records from like 71 or 83 or something. But this is a brand new by Dom and his guys. They have done a beautiful work with this album. I love the album cover, by the way. Really beautiful. I'm a musician myself, and I know how much time you spend on recording music. You write the songs, you rehearse, you record, you mix again, you re-record instruments, you mix again, and then you have to master it, and then you can press it on vinyl if you go that far. So it's so much work behind this, and you can really hear that they have put a lot of effort and passion into this record. You know, people think that, yeah, just a new record and put it in the shelf. They are like hundreds and hundreds of hours behind a record like this. So give Dom a shout out. Please let him know that you have heard this record and that you like it. I certainly liked it, and I will play it many times. I think there's still some copies available on Bandcamp, so if you haven't got it yet, go over there, buy it, give some thumbs up for Dom and Material Objects. And thanks Dom for sending me this one. And last but not least, in this package from Dom, he included a little VCLT, like a little gift for me. And he added this single, Snapper, Vader and B-side Gentle Hour, from 1993 on the Flying Nun label. Dom knew me, he knew that I've been looking for this for a long time, and he apparently found a copy and he sent it to me. Snapper is mainly by a guy called Peter Guttridge, who played in several bands from the Flying Nun catalog. But this single is absolutely beautiful. The A-side is a bit more like a noise rock song, but I absolutely love the B-side called Gentle Hour. That is also like a distorted kind of dream pop shoegaze ballad or something. Very, very beautiful. So thank you Dom for hooking me up with this one. I was really, really glad when I got it.
It's such a pleasure to touch your skin. Touch your skin. It's such a pleasure to touch your heart. Your heart.
I almost forgot that Dom sent me this as well. This is like a photocopy of the original insert from the Tally Ho single by The Clean. And I have the original Tally Ho single, but without the insert. So at least now I have this photocopy of it. I think it's a photocopy of it. So that's a really cool thing to add to my original Tally Ho single. So thanks for this one, Dom. Yeah, so these were a few of the records that I've got during the summer. I actually have bought many more. But when I'm out digging, I often buy records that I will like flip and sell. And I haven't shown these. I only show records that I will put into my collection. But I found some cool records that I will bring to the record fair in Stockholm here in September. And again, a big shout out to Seeking a Thread Dom for sending me this legendary package from America with some great records that I've been wanting for some time. So it was really cool to do that, and thanks for all the effort that you put down, Dom. So until next time, be sure to buy some records, play some music, be cool, stay in school, make love, not war, buy a friend a drink, and be sure to subscribe to this channel. 2,000 subscribers. Massive thank you again. And take care out there and peace out.